really like to thank the Guild and its sponsors for having me here tonight. My name is Alex Kim, and I'm a percussionist in the Charlotte Symphony Youth Orchestra. I'm one of the students here. The Charlotte Symphony Youth Orchestra is one of the many organizations in Charlotte that the Guild does so much tireless work for. The last time I was up here speaking for a Guild event, I focused primarily on my experiences in the youth orchestra, but perhaps what I'm about to discuss with you all tonight is much more important and much more meaningful than simply how I've been affected by music. The first situation I'd like to talk about takes place in my high school. See, I go to a smaller school, so the breadth of interests in the student body is narrow just simply because of the numbers. So as a musician, I found myself in a world where I was in a vastly small minority. And by that, I don't mean one of the only ones that played an instrument, but rather one of the only ones that held it as a passion and desired to see it constantly and all around me in that school community. For instance, when most people go to a high school football game, you expect to hear the band play. It's just an integral part of the experience. But at my school, there was no band playing, and there were no instruments cheering along. And I used to just accept this deficiency as an inescapable fact, and it made me unhappy. But there's a special quality of music, one that truly makes it unique, and that is that it has the power to transform and change things that are seemingly entombed in stone. I and a friend, Jay Hankel, whom I must mention because without him none of this would have happened, decided that, you know what, if there's no music in this community now, we will bring it. The challenge was great, but the reward was much, much greater. So we first started out playing a pair of djembes during breaks in the school day. But soon enough, kids lined up to play in our school's first ever drum circle. But as I said, music doesn't just transform, it powerfully transforms. So we didn't just stop there. Over the summer, we started preparing because we were planning on launching a new school tradition. We were going to start a full drum line, bass, quads, cymbals, snare, everything. And I'll spare you all the details, but as I'm sure you can surmise, we were successful and now are frequently requested to play. So what was the purpose of that story? I tell it to you not because I want any of you to look at me and think about what I did, and what this means to me. It's not at all what I'm trying to tell you. I'm telling you this story because I want you to know that music inspires people to act and change things for the better. It doesn't just inspire me, but it can and will inspire anyone exposed to it. I know this to be true because I've experienced it firsthand. So by supporting these children at Winterfield Elementary, you can empower these kids to step up and change things instead of simply accepting the status quo. Music in our schools is fading, and it's one of the great crises of our time. As public money runs out, music programs are the first to go, and the ramifications are devastating. It has been shown that school music programs lower crime rates dramatically among students. So then, one could conclude the opposite, that with the current circumstances, we may actually see more children fall down the wrong path. And that is why we need all of you here today in the audience, to help us. Because by giving a kid a flute, a violin, a clarinet, or a pair of drumsticks, we are indeed protecting the next generation. I lead a flute class at Winterfield Elementary every Tuesday, and when I go, I look upon these boys and girls and know that they are our future leaders. They come in with a genuine smile and happiness that shows that they have already discovered a passion in music and in life, and are eager to learn. And the proof of this comes as early as last Tuesday. So 2 new students entered my class this past week and were just beginning to learn the flute. So the first thing that went through my mind was, oh man, these guys are so far behind. But you know what? Without my even having to say a word, the 3 prior existing members of the class, Emily, Alma, and Alexa, instantly ran over, pencil in hand, and were guiding and teaching the new students. And Emily, one of the students, is actually sitting right there in the audience tonight, so if we could give her a great applause. See, folks, these kids are already teachers in 5th grade. Imagine what they'll become in a few more years. If they see a problem, they'll fix it. And not only does this make them better people, but it will empower them to positively impact others as well, and that is inevitable. You see, that's the power of music. It's one of the greatest change agents. Music can transform lives and it can transform people. Life at my high school is diversified forever by having a drum beating to the roar of the crowd as the football crosses the line for a touchdown. These incredible children at Winterfield can wake up in the morning excited because they have a craft, they have an art, and their lives are changed for the better in no way that a check can provide. That is the most important thing that music does for us. Life successes are decided by what's up here. It's decided by who you are, and it's decided by who you're driven to become. And music has the power to give you that drive. It's given it to me, and certainly it will give it to you. Thank you all so much for being here tonight, because you here in the audience have the power to transform not only someone else's life, but your own as well, by bringing music into your world and into your heart. My time here is all used up, but luckily I'm not the only one who's had these experiences, so we have an incredible video for you all tonight that will continue to tell the tale of how music can transform lives forever. Thank you very much.